Hi again, darlings. I am here today to continue my Tuscan dollhouse project. Yesterday I showed you how to have a makeover kind of thing with the roof, and today I have been working with the walls, and this is the look I'm aiming after. The door isn't actually the finished look. I have just covered it with painter's tape, but I am trying to get this look to this. This is the original one. I left only a tiny little part of the facade for you to see how it looked earlier and start to work with. Because it's a huge 1 meter in size of a facade, so it's really taking a long time for me to work with. So what I am going to do is to you can see my fingers, sorry, they are completely in painted. So don't get bothered with those. Okay, I am going to add 2 layers of Finnabair heavy gesso with texture powder into this one with a brush, and then it will look like this. And then I am going to add 1 layer of the same mixture with a palette knife to get it look like it's plastered. And after that I am going to paint it. So here we go. I am going to use no, actually it's kind of too wet and moist to work with, so here we go. With a new plate I am going to add some gesso. I think this should be enough. It's white Finnabair heavy gesso. Any gesso will do, but this is, I love the Finnabair one because it's so thick and easy to work with. And then a texture powder by Finnabair, and as I told you yesterday, I already used my jar which had a new label on it. I think it looks something like this these days, maybe. So don't get confused with the different kind of labeling. And I am going to mix this and check if the mixture is kind of plastering slash concrete looking enough, or do I need to do something about it? It's quite the same I did with the roof actually. I used the same technique to first cover the whole roof with this one, roof tiles, and then I added a bit of water. Then I added some mini art stones to resemble moss and so on. So I think this is fine. Okay. And here we go. It's as simple as that I am simply painting the whole thing again. Although the brush strokes are visible like this when I am adding a layer of this, they won't be visible on the final piece because I'm going to add a layer with a palette knife, which kind of mix it easily a bit, but also because there is texture powder in there, it kind of disturbs the brush strokes just so that they won't be actually visible when I am going to paint them over. And just in case you are wondering, this is the main door, and this is the basement door in there, which is only a fake door, and it's not it's only glued in place. And this is the first floor window. I was going to create a restaurant in there, and hence the window size and form, so that there would be restaurant in the first floor and then apartment above. But then I realized there isn't enough room for a restaurant in the dollhouse, I think. Let's see, we will see, because it was fully decorated that almost 20 years ago, and I honestly, and in real for real, I do not remember how it looked like, and what was it that was there, because here's the thing. First, I have lost all the photos. They are somewhere, but it was the era of newly invented digital cameras, and I have no idea where those files are. And secondly, it's so long ago that it would maybe be natural even not to remember, but I need to just a bit try it, so I won't just be moving the first layer around when I'm adding another layer, so it's a bit more efficient to add a layer when the first one is actually dried. Well, yes, the reason is that I have forgotten what's inside is that when we moved from Helsinki 10 years ago, more, 11, 12 years ago maybe, I packed my doll's house, and because children were small, the interior kind of is still forgotten in those boxes I packed all those years ago, and it was 2008, and in 2012 I got my brain injury in an accident and lost most parts of my memory, so I honestly can't remember what was in there. So it's such it's almost as big mystery to me as it is to you, and I think it's kind of a lovely idea to share this journey with you. I will show you what I will find when I find when I'm going to get through this stuff. And then I need to decide what I am going to do with interiors. I do remember I have quite marvelous things in there, but it's only in my mind. In reality, I can't remember what kind of things I have created in there. Where they that great, and so we will see. I also have antique chest. I have found, or we found, from Brussels antique store, and it's sitting right there next to my study door, and one day I hope I can turn it into doll's house. I have collected some wonderful pieces of furniture, and I have already made the dolls with silk dresses and so on, and it's going to be some kind of Dostoevskian, I love the idiot, and I kind of want that kind of a feeling into my doll's house. Crazy intellectual upper class ruined, maybe. So that's another project I hope someday I will be able to work with. But first I think it's only fair to do something about this one instead of starting something new when I have a beautiful doll's house in here. Okay, so 2 layers, and now it needs, of course, again some quick drying before I kind of plaster it. But I am going to zoom a bit so you can see it more clearly. Then that this really is a wonderful way to get a plaster look. I'll show this one again. This patisserie cafe floor door wall. There's first these gesso layers with texture powder. Then there's this layer with impasto paints, and after that one there is a layer of liquid acrylics, only amber and avocado green, to create a mossy kind of look. Okay, now using a palette knife, I try to evenly add kind of plastering in there. And you see what I told you, if it's not completely dry, it's just moving the mixture from one place to another. It clearly isn't dried completely. I try to keep in mind when I'm doing this the kind of a scale. Of course, this is 1 to 12 scale. It's the usual stuff for doll's house. So I try to make the plastering to not look strokes, too large strokes kind of thing, but having movement that actually could be realistic. And it's not that easy. What I have is somewhere there are also climbers. I mean, you know, as in flowers, plastic ones for this area to go in here, but I want to make sure that it still looks neat enough and nice enough, even if I decide to do something else about it with it. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 floors into doll's house. The basement, the first floor where there is a kitchen, then there is at least I think it must have been really that way, living room floor, and then bedroom floor, and upstairs a bathroom floor. But when I am finished with this one and go with the interior and do something about it, I'll also rethink the whole story. Okay, something in here because I'm not happy with this part. I think that will do. Yes, that will do. Okay, and because there is something in here left, I try to keep it moist because I have just one tiny bit of roof that I can use this for, so that would be wise not to waste it. And then it needs proper drying. I'm just thinking that maybe I can kind of fast forward and cheat a bit and turn it this way. So that I can do something with this part, which is actually drying, except for this middle part. Okay, I haven't decided yet what I am going to do with windows and so on, but it helps a bit when this is painted and I can see how it looks like, how all the, well, decorational pieces go goes in there. But first, what I need is white paint with soft beige linen, and definitely dark chocolate brown with a burlap. It's a brownish what do you think? It's kind of maybe a bit greenish brown, and then a hint of black, which I'm going to put in there. Okay, I now can put them away, and I'll take some baby wipes near at hand, and I'm putting my palette knife away so I really have room for my brushes, you know, in my jar. So here's how I am going to do it. I'm going to do a mixture of, let's put this aside in here. I'm going to make a mixture of mostly linen and white with a hint of black and brown. I try to make it warm because acrylic paints usually dry just a shade colder than you may have intended. And then I start with somewhere. And with a baby wipe, I am going to, oh, let's do it this way. Okay, I still need to, sorry, do it like this because you can't see what I am doing otherwise. Okay. I'm trying to make a blending in here so that when I continue there would be no clear stark lines. I am simply painting a bit that I'm comfortable with working at one time, and then I'll wipe most off with baby wipes. This will help the paint go into the crook and crevices and make it a kind of sorry, I'm putting my apron on. I forgot it again, so I won't be ruining my dress. Okay. Okay. So. Oopsie daisy. Okay. So here I am making a huge mess with my precious dollhouse and hoping it will be worth it. Okay, and I think it's wise again for me to dry it a bit so that acrylic paint really sticks in there, instead of me moving it from one place to another with those baby wipes. Again, the sun is shining. Well, it's not actually shining, it's quite, well, it doesn't help if I put a cardboard piece in there. No, not much. It doesn't help. Sorry. The weather has been really strange here. It's heavy storms and heavy heat, and suddenly sun shines, then the next second it don't, and I hope that you can live with my poor lighting with this video. Okay, now I want some darker parts. Now this is the upper part of the facade, so I want there some darker shading in here, and also I want the edges to look and the windowsills to look the part. So I think I'm just mixing a bit more green. And where was this chocolate? There. Like this. And again, I use a baby wipe to kind of blend it in. You could use, for example, a sponge, but I only have one at the moment, and it's green. I'm going to use it soon for the moss part, so it's not possible for me to kind of mix it now with this shade. So I am going to use baby wipes as the blending. Now this wasn't a cleverest idea. Concentrate, Emilia. It's not even dry yet. But like this. Okay, a new paperwork. This is some wow, what a rain. Sorry you can't see it, but it's they really opened a tap in the heavens right now. And they have also predicted there would be a huge storm coming, so let's see if we run out of electricity. Now I'm adding only this, only this greenish part to get a bit moldy. How do you say it in English? Moldy parts in there. And this is simply the, actually it's as simple as that. You just paint the walls, or at least this is how I do it. Repeat the process until you are satisfied. But my fingers itch to make it as a kind of a painting, because there are such delicious brush stroke markings in there that should be left. But it's my doll's house facade. Okay. I'm trying to make sure that there isn't a place in there that the paint dries in too strong lines, and the clear brush strokes leave visible. So that's why I am here and there adding and painting, and then soft to look a bit with a spray. Okay, I think I start to be happy with this look. I leave the other part empty at the moment. It can take its time to properly get dry. So I simply start adding liquid acrylics, and I try to put electric lights on. Does it help at all for you to get to see the coloring? I hope. But the thing is, because the kind of plastering isn't even on purpose, And then I have sprayed the paint with those baby wipes that are wet and kind of not absorbing all the paint, but spraying and blending them. You can see how the paints have went deeper inside the plastering, kind of, and it makes it look more realistic. And I have tried to add darker shades to those parts to kind of underline and highlight this uneven look, because it's the look that makes it authentically old looking. The unevenness of the plastering and painting. Okay. And I try to zoom. Oops, sorry. Can you see? Here are the two first layers with gesso, and then I made it with brush, and you can't really see the brush stroke lines, but then there is on top of it there is this plastering done with palette knife, and that's how these markings are born. And now there is still a bit too dark parts in here, and a bit of brush strokes visible. So I try to blend them in with adding some mold. Okay, and again I don't think it went any to look any better, but it certainly is looking messy right now. Somehow I think even it's even when it's dry, the plastering kind of starts to come visible in there, and I can move the colors in here. Let's see. Okay. Well, I don't know if it's any better that the light reflects here in wet part. Sorry, it seems to be a lose-lose situation with and without the lights at the moment. But I'm trying to now make sure it's white, completely dry, and then I'm going to add liquid acrylics, and this is the way I'm going to repeat the whole process. I am going to add some more burlap in there in places to get, actually I need to do that first. I'm taking a bit smaller brush, and this is only burlap color. Well, it's supposed to be only burlap colored. I want the wall look like it's really old, and weather hasn't and age hasn't treated it really kindly. So therefore it really needs some green parts in there. Let's try to, yes. Okay, because now I am adding this layer of kind of green first. It's a kind of blending layer between the basic, you know, base coloring of the wall, and then the facade finishing with the liquid acrylics in, oops, in green. I think I'm going to already feel sorry for the house. It looks so neglected. Although it's kind of getting more attention than ever, it's also getting to look really neglected. That's my purpose. Okay, now that's it, and I want a bit greenish coloring all around, like this. Okay, that will do. And now it's time for the liquid acrylics. Except there is no black when I look at the tiny little facade part. I realize I have used also black, so there needs to be blackened parts so that they don't look too different. That's the thing when you try to repeat something with shades that you have actually made yourself. It's not always easy to repeat exactly the same shade when you have just added paints here and there. But okay, I think we are done. When I looked to my laptop where I can see what my phone is recording here, I can see that the screen doesn't catch the realistic look. In real life, all the variations doesn't look so clear. They look now on the screen. It's much more natural looking, but maybe you will see it when it's finished. It is facade, and I start working with the decorations for the outer walls. I think then I need to work with these up on the doll's house, and I think then it looks a bit more realistic. I really need to get this dry. Sorry, it's taking a long time. You can fast forward if you want. It's been over 30 degrees for several days now, and for a person like me with a neurological disease, it's an agony. It's a real nightmare, and we even have air conditioning at home, but it's still too moist and too hot, and my brain has turned into porridge, and there is no clear idea going through my head right now. So sorry, I'm not in really social moods today, but I just wanted to record and show you how I'm proceeding. I think we are nearly there. Yes, that will do. Okay, now I'm putting this jar away and taking a clear water, because I am now going to use liquid acrylics, and I don't want to muddle the colors too much. So I am using avocado green and umber. And I have no specific amounts I am going to use. Just again mixing those two colors, just a hint, and spraying water on top. And I'm leaving water to do its job. Okay, I have to strong liquid in there. And actually this is how I do it. Simply spraying paint, avocado green and umber in turns, and mixing them so that as you maybe you can see that the avocado green in itself, it's a bit too bright, but when you mix it with umber you actually get really nice mossy look. And again, I am trying to keep in mind that I need to have somewhat realistic scale, and so the lines can't be too small, but they need to continue a bit. Bit here and there so that it really looks authentic. They can't just be a thin line in here. And I think it's realistic to think that there is also moss around the windows. Okay, I think I'm going to take my sponge and spread sorry, I know I'm really pouring today, really pouring. I should have some witty things to say to you and chat a lot, but somehow that's not working at the moment, but I hope you get the idea. This is the way I'm going to go through the whole wall, all the walls of the dollhouse, and not only the tiny little cafe part. But I know I need to do this so that this is in upright position, so that I can see really how it looks when it's in place. This is a completely wrong angle to look. So I am going to continue this. Without you watching, and then I am going to show you how it looks before I go forward with the interiors. So this is the technique, and I can at this point try to dry these so that the light won't be reflecting so much, and you can see how it really looks. But as you noticed here too, I tried to add that moss effect with those liquid acrylics to the places where there is so-called cracks in the plastering, and because that way they are nicely highlighted, maybe. I'll put this aside. Okay, I tried to show you it from a bit more this angle, and guess what I did? I managed to ruin the plastering on the bottom, but it's okay. But maybe this is more the angle it's been looked, and suddenly the brush strokes and coloring isn't as clearly uneven in unrealistic way than when you look at from this angle. But here it was, the technique I am using for making the walls. I simply try to check if I switch off the lighting. Let's see. Yep, doesn't help at all, or much. Can you see the look in here? So next time I think it's the interior walls of the tiny little cafe, and it's this look I'm thinking for the walls. So see you next time, and thank you immensely for your patience with me. It started thundering, so it really is a migraine day today. I don't know about you, but I'm one of those persons having migraines when there is thunder and storm. So maybe that explained why I wasn't so chatty. But till next time, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you soon. Bye bye.